Now, I'm over the moon because I've got some very special guests on the show today. They sing with the stay-at-home choir, and I'm hoping they'll be able to give us some tips if you like singing, and also some tips for me with my singing exam imminent. So, in the studio, our Scala performance space, I've been let out of my studio for the first time. I have Leanne Burnett, Catherine Lecoz and Galina Macahon, as well as their co-founder and conductor of the stay-at-home choir, Tori Longdon. So, Tori, you set this up during the pandemic, didn't you?
Yeah, my colleague and I, Jamie Wright, we decided that we wanted to find a way to bring people together and make some music. We had no idea how big it was going to be. We've now got 28,000 singers on the books in something like 78 different countries. So it's massive, and we're as surprised as everybody else. So
does everyone just log on at the same time?
Yeah, so we rehearse together and we share the process of learning music. The thing that's really special about us is that we always have the artists on board. So if we're working with a group like Voces 8 or the Swingles or the King Singers, we'll have them in our sessions telling us themselves in their own words how they sing their music. And the same with composers like John Rutter, Christopher Tin, Carl Jenkins. So we've got them all coming in to work with us and share their music with us, which is so amazing.
That's incredible. And you guys sing in the choir. When did you start singing together?
We started singing, well, I started about June last year. Yeah, I think the choir started March, April. And I've been singing ever since. I've done this, I'm on my 12th project now. And it's been a lifesaver for me during the pandemic because I have sung with choirs all my life, and then, of course, suddenly I couldn't. And I live on my own, so the pandemic has been quite trying from a social point of view because I can't get out to do all the things I normally love to do. And it's given me a community that I can still sing with in the safety of my own home.
Obviously, we're out of the pandemic. Do you get to sing together, or is it still a remote thing? Because, you know, we're here in this space now, so it's lovely that you're here.
Well, this is actually the first time we've met in person, would you believe? But yeah, so I think a lot of people are going back to what their home choir was when in person, but we're still finding that it's such a unique experience, as Tori said, to sit in a Zoom room with John Rutter and him talk to us about how he composes. You can't do that anywhere else. So I think everyone's finding that we can balance that with our own choirs where we're going back to. But for now, it's all still global and virtual and working just as well as ever.
So amazing. So tell me about what you loved about the stay-at-home choir.
Well, this is the first time that I've actually sung choral music.
So you weren't a singer beforehand?
I only started singing a few years ago, and then it was musical theatre rather than choral. And I didn't join initially because I didn't have the confidence. And I thought that people would be, classically trained and, to be honest, a bit snobby. And then not at all. Everybody's lovely and friendly, and it's just the most amazing global community. So apart from the singing, which is joyful and so good for your mental and physical health, you have the added advantage of making friends all over the world, even though we'd never met. But you feel like you know people through your shared love of music.
I think you've hit on a really valuable point, because, sorry, music brings people together. It's like food, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, any excuse to talk about food. Yeah, great. It is. It's something that everybody has different tastes, but everybody can appreciate good music, and everybody can appreciate the process of enjoying it and learning more about it, unpacking the history of it and how it's made and how it's built. It's great. It's a bake-off for the soul. And what a better way to do it than to come together and put out a physical product at the end of 18 months of virtual work and growing this community, to have something we can hold in our hands and say, hey, look, we did this.
Well, we're going to hear something from the album next, but one thing that singing does, and lots of people want to do it, but like you said, they don't have that confidence, but it's just to open your mouth and get your voice going. So how do you warm up and just make people say, right, go for it?
Yeah, I would say, especially if you're about to go into something like a singing exam, it's easy to feel nervous. And lots of the time, nerves represent themselves in your body. So if you can find a way to find your equilibrium, relax your hands. I find so much tension is stored in your hands. And then just tune into the breath. A good breath is going to invariably produce a good sound. And the breath, it's like petrol in a car. It's the most important thing you can do.
If I just do that, I'll get a distinction.
Exactly. It's, as long as the piece is 4 minutes 33, then you'll get distinction. But if you can hear the tension on the in-breath, then the chances are you're going to sing with tension on the out-breath. If the breath is silent, it kind of is a good indication that it's a released, relaxed breath and that your vocal apparatus is set up for relaxed singing. So it's actually a really good litmus test of how relaxed and released you are.
Guys, thank you so much for being here and for giving you those tips. And I hope this goes from strength to strength. And we're going to hear a piece by you guys right now. That was a stay-at-home choir singing Rheinberger's Abendlied. It's from their new album, which is coming out next weekend. It was a joy to have Leanne, Catherine, Galina and Tori in the studio, giving me some tips for singing. And do you know what? It really is about letting yourself go. Sing like no one is listening, even though they might be.